Welcome to Lineage, part 1 of Healing of the Mother Line. The first thing I want to clarify that there is no mistake. That each and every one of you hearing this today, there is no mistake that you are choosing to do this work at this time. Because when two or more gather, that is when the medicine and the healing and the energies begin to come alive. Each and every one of us carries our own medicine that is for ourselves and for each other. We carry our own unique set of keys and codes and stories that are unique to us. However, when we share those keys and codes and stories, sometimes what happens is we begin to activate others. Sometimes it'll release others from their keys and codes and stories. And sometimes it'll bring an awareness to someone else. So in this moment, I'm calling forward your intuition, even more than I already have. So anywhere and everywhere that you have ever believed that you were disconnected from your intuition, or that it's unavailable to you, let's destroy and uncreate that on every level, every layer, and every lifetime, and return that story from whence it came. What we are doing here today is we're going to begin to call forth all of our energies. We're going to be calling forward the energies of our maternal line to come in with us, to be with us, to sit with us, to guide us, to help us receive messages. I'm going to ask that they guide us and support us in doing this healing work. So settle into the body in the right and perfect position. Softening down the eyes, relaxing the jaw. And let's begin to ignite that presence within us by taking a couple breaths. Nice deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Exhale, sigh. And again, inhale, exhale, sigh. Breathing in nice and deep all the way down. Inhaling, exhaling through the central column and all the way up through the body. And as you inhale, begin to start and create space within the body. Creating length within the body. The top of the head extending as it moves away from the bottom of your feet. As you begin to connect into the cosmos. And down through the center of the earth. Give yourself permission to land. Give yourself permission to land and relax, knowing that you are completely safe in this container, as well as in your own space. As you settle in, begin to notice the stillness. Notice any presence. You may see it, you may feel it, you may hear it, and you may know it. Give yourself permission to receive the frequency that's coming through right now. The energy that's coming through, any emotions. As you begin to soften where you can soften. And land even more into your body. Breathing deeply. And if you're feeling distracted or you're feeling pulled to that to-do list, then let's just take a moment to acknowledge it and move it over to the side. To collect it again if you choose. With the intention, you're not dismissing it. We're not ignoring it. We're just moving it to the side. Moving it to the side for now. And this is a temporary to create space for yourself, knowing that you can collect it and pick it back up if it's something you need at the end of this session. Allow yourself to notice what you're noticing and receive it all, because there's no need to make sense of it in this moment. Just receive it. Knowing whatever you're meant to remember, whatever you're meant to know, will remain in the conscious mind, and it'll still be there waiting for you. Knowing that you can access that subconscious mind to receive it in order to heal, to release, and to clear. Even if that means you don't remember. Sometimes when we work with trauma, the whole spectrum, and what it looks like for each and every one of us, none of our experiences are greater or less than each other. There's no comparison or hierarchy. When we have these traumas that may help us arise what is within us, our spirits having this human experience, sometimes when we do this work, it's layered so thick in the subconscious mind that it takes work to get at it. And as a reminder, we don't always need to know. We don't always need to remember. But having faith and trust in this work and in oneself are vitally important. This work is not only within you, but it's through you. As the aspect of ancestral healings, the epigenetics, up and down your family line. To heal those generations back and those that have come before you. To receive parts of your spirit, parts of theirs, not limiting to 7 generations. All of your descendants, your children, your grandchildren, and all those in your family line that will come after you, as well as those right here in this moment with you in this lifetime. And as we begin to call forward any blocks, any barriers, any of those protection mechanisms, and we say yes to them. We say yes to them and we acknowledge them. And we begin this process of releasing them. Barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. On all levels, all layers, and all lifetimes, barriers down. And take a nice deep breath in, exhaling with a sigh. Releasing out of the body, out of the mind, and out of the energetic fields. Barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. Spirit and I are one, and we work together as a team. It is my intention to be a clear and neutral channel for the high self and for your spirit today. And as I begin to prep myself to work, I want to say thank you. And how long to prep this group to work? Thank you. So please clear and remove any and all blocking programs, any openings, interferences, and negative energy. Permanently seal all cracks, openings, portals, and fill with love and golden light. Please clear any links in our high self community chains, and please clear, remove, and elevate and educate all of our spiritual committees with the minimum size for the maximum effect. Please educate all of our spiritual committee members to the highest level of consciousness in Chart 3, and please reassign any committee members who are not ready, willing, and able to support 100% positive and 0% negative change. And please update and download all of our spiritual committees with new information, new wisdom, new knowledge, and the potential in one universe, as well as the entire star system. Provide them with the intellect required to clear all negative programming and reducing all portals and gateways down to one into the center of that chest. Please establish them with a new plan that's based on everything positive. Please reduce the size of our spiritual committees to the minimum size for the maximum effect, clearing all bodies of negative programming and reducing all portals down to one, again into the center of that chest. Please clear any and all of our spiritual committees serving of any and all programs that we've created with our spirit, including replications, mirroring images, and rebuilding. And please reduce the egos to the minimum level required to facilitate this clearing, more than 0 and not to exceed 3%. Suspend all judgment and keep us 100% neutral. Please clear and remove any extra souls, any addictions to extra souls, and set up a triple layer of protection around each and every one of us, as well as our home environments and anyone else that would be in the vicinity of us doing this clearing work, as well as our records. As we begin to prep ourselves to work, the answer is yes. I'm going to ask for permission to do this clearing work within this group. And the answer is no, so I'm going to ask that we begin to clear any punishments, any benefit programs that may be running for me or for anyone else listening to this clearing in this present moment, as well as any dimension or any lifetimes. I'm going to ask that you take in 3 nice deep breaths, cleansing breaths, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Allow that breath to travel all the way down the throat, into the lungs, expanding into the rib cage and down to the bottom of the belly, inflating that belly like a balloon. Exhale, releasing from the belly first. Allowing that air to come out, traveling all the way up through the lungs, softening. Softening through the rib cage, softening through your bones, all the way back up through the throat. And exhale out the mouth. And again, deep breath in, drawing it all the way down to the belly. And on the exhale, sigh it out as you begin to release again. Deep inhale, exhale, sigh. And do I have permission to work in this field? And the answer is yes. So who am I currently working with? I'm working with the high self. So I'm going to ask that we begin with a real-time clearing each and every one of us of anything and everything that we can clear without research at this time. And as we begin to open up this next section, these next set of clearings, opening up our mother lines, I'm going to ask that we step forward to clear and release anything that we may consciously or unconsciously have stuck to us that would keep us from working inside this container. Whether this is in the present moment, whether you're hearing this for the first time, whether you're hearing this again as a replay. And if there's any conflict or negative residue, any disagreements, any loyalties, royalties, any points of view perceptions with anyone you have in this group personally, or somewhere back in your family lines or with your spiritual teams or guides, I'm going to ask that we begin to clear whatever needs to be cleared first so that each and every one of us can step forward into this space, so that we can step forward with a clean slate, so that there are no interferences within this container, no interferences, disruptions, old emotions within this container from this moment on. I'm going to ask that we go into the files and into the records and into anywhere else that we need to clear woundings that we may have with each other. Specifically, it might be an archetype that someone may represent to us. Or it may be the collective sister wounding. Wounding, persecutions, witch woundings, medicine woman woundings. I'm going to ask that as we open up this container that we clear anything and everything that would be keeping us from digging in, diving in as deep as we need to go in order to heal our maternal lines together. In community. Community. Unity. Thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going first? We're going to go into purpose. Is it an energy or a program? It's a program. And can it be cleared without research at this time? The answer is yes. So please clear individually as well as collectively the program of purpose, root, trunk, and seed. Clearing them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. Clearing them out of all your spiritual committees, right back to the heart of your spirit. And what I'm already seeing, what they want me, what I'm being shown is that it's down the line. We're going to go into the past, down the line. The mother line. Through the women of your maternal line. This can also be men, but the majority of what I'm seeing is down this maternal line. These are the spaces and places that we believe or conditioned to believe that we need to keep our purpose close. Coddling of a baby. I'm seeing a child, to keep it close. Close to the space of your heart and close to yourself. We kept it hidden under wraps because we feared a persecution from each other, because we feared judgment, because we were afraid of the finger being pointed towards us. We're afraid of being outed, because we were afraid of being different. So what would it mean if you were different? You may begin to notice this within, you're going back into your maternal line, into your mother, your grandmothers, your aunties, your sisters. So tapping into your intuition, ask yourself, who did this start with? Who did the judgment start with? The persecution, the hiding. Call that poor person forward, where this has been passed on from, energetically or on a cellular level. When we hid, obstructed, and when we denied who we really are, it sets us off course. It sets us off our intuition, and it sets us off our purpose. And sometimes the result of what we experience is that we lack joy. We lack playfulness, fulfillment, seeking to feel whole, seeking validation, seeking for love, and seeking for knowing. The feelings of needing to know or wanting to know. Feelings that are deep within you, that there must be something else, something more, something different, something better. Yet there is this unsureness of what it may be. What would happen if he began to pull the curtain back? The Emerald City, the wizard behind the curtain. What would happen if you pulled back that curtain on your maternal line? Because this is why you're here. This is why you're here. There is no mistake. Notice what you're feeling within your body. Feeling of flutter, anxiety, as you begin to pull that curtain back to see what is on the other side. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going next? We're going to go into power. Is it an energy or a program? It's an energy. So please clear any negative or discordant energies of power for each and every one of us. Clear it out, root, trunk, and seed. Clear it out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments. Clear them out of all your 13 bodies, all your spiritual committees, right back to the heart of your spirit. I want you to begin to clear any reasons for harm that are specifically connected to the energy of power, whether it's manipulation, hiding, persecution, punishment. It might be in a benefit program, a hierarchy, a power over power dynamic. Responsibility, self-punishment, fear, greed, hate. Hate of God, Hate is spirit, creator, coercion. Anxiety, desires, ambition. Or it might be simply just violence, unnecessary violence. I'm going to ask that we begin to clear any of all these reasons why we and our ancestral lines have come to believe that the word power has a negative motivation and condensation to it. Anywhere and everywhere that you have ever believed that being in your power, standing in your full power, your full sovereignty, your full-bodied self is harmful in any way, shape, or form, is destroyed and uncreated on every level, every layer, and every lifetime, root, trunk, and seed. On all the layers, all the lifetimes, and all the levels. Anywhere and everywhere that you have ever believed that power has to be a manipulation or a coercion or a middle-aged white man patriarchy is destroyed and uncreated on every level, every layer, and every lifetime in return for whence it came, never to be returned to you, to your mind, your field, or your body ever again. Anywhere and everywhere that you have ever feared or avoided or disconnected from your own sovereignty or your own power is destroyed and uncreated. All the ways that you are choosing to disconnect from your own power as a way to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself small, to keep yourself hidden, is destroyed and uncreated. And all the ways that you may be choosing to demonize power or those that are in power in order to ensure that you are safe is destroyed and uncreated on every level, every layer, and every lifetime. Root, trunk, and seed. And as you begin to exit this labyrinth, you exit that game. Repeat these words. You have no power over me. 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 And the reason this is coming through right now with love and compassion and grace, as we begin to take that energy of love and passion and grace, it begins to trickle down our maternal lines. You have no power over me. To our brothers or sisters or mothers and her brothers and sisters. To our grandmothers. And as far back as it needs to go. You have no power over me. Let me be clear. We are not sending this down the maternal line because we are disconnecting. This is not done out of spite or in hate or any form of meanness. But we are doing this in the most loving thing we can do. We are doing this to set ourselves free. But not only for us, for them as well, to set them free. Because what is in that freedom? It is in that freedom that you can decide to come together with them in a union that is sacred, in a union that is whole, in a union that is good for them and it's good for you. And anyone that comes after you. And thank you. Is that done? Yes. And where are we going next? We're going into freedom and the blocks to positive expression of giving freedom to ourselves and within our maternal lines. So please clear and remove any and all blocks that any of us are experiencing with each other and to our maternal lines, to give each other freedom. Clearing them out, root, trunk, and seed, clearing them out of all levels, all layers, all minds, all fields, all compartments, clearing them out of all your 13 bodies, right back to the heart of your spirit. The women in your lineage, deep down to its very core, the very essence. Every single one of these women, their wish and they desire what's best for you. They desire they come to you with nothing but love and grace, honor and reverence. They see you. They want nothing more to see you rise, to see you in your power, to see you in your joy, to see you fulfilled, to see you in flow and abundance, in harmony. And they want nothing more to see you in your purpose, authentically and unapologetically being all that you have came here to be. And that is their wish for you. That is the freedom that wants to be exchanged here, the freedom that wants to be given. So the question becomes, are you willing to receive it? Can your mother also receive it? Can your aunties, can your sisters, can your grandmother, your great-grandmother? What needs to happen for you and for them in order not only to receive it and to take it in is to embody it? Because now is the time to dismantle the grids of power among women. And one of the most powerful ways to do that, as each and every one of you have stepped forward and said yes to healing your family lines, creating that ripple effect, bigger than you can ever imagine. Because what would happen if every single woman began to step forward within their own bloodlines? What would happen? There would be no war. There would be no hate. There would no longer be violence, comparisons, unworthiness, blame, shame. It would all be erased. Traumas would begin to dissipate. Secrets would no longer be needed, and there'd be no more isolation, but rather coming together in a holy communion with each other. Saying yes to ourselves and in turn saying yes to each other. And this would come from a place of essence, of who we really are. The presence of our own divinity and in the frequency of unity. And thank you. Is that done? And where are we going next? So I'm going to invite you to take a couple nice deep breaths in. Exhaling out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling, sigh. And one more time. Big breath in, exhaling, sigh. Exhaling to release. I'm going to now ask you to visualize, imagine, to feel yourself standing in the middle of a meadow. A vast, wide open space. Take a moment and look around you. See its beauty, the grass, the earth, the flowers, the smells, the stones, the wood. Maybe you even see a buttercup. Are there any bees? Give yourself a minute take in the scenery, the feeling of being familiar with this meadow. This meadow is a beautiful representation of life, the presence of Mother Earth herself. And from this space, visualize, feel, or imagine your mother. Call her into your space. And as she stands in front of you, she begins to approach, and you make eye contact with her. And there she is in her human form, of whatever age she chooses to appear. And as you look at her, look into her eyes. There is nothing more potent than the energy that is right here and now. Because those eyes are the window to her soul. See her for who she really is. And from this space, this connection that you have established, I want you to call forward your grandmother on your maternal line. And she will stand to the left of your mother. And as she approaches you, look into her eyes. Everything is still. And feel the connection to her. And see her for who she really is. And from that space, call forward your grandmother on your paternal line. And she will stand on the right to your mother. And as she approaches, look into her eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. Feel that connection to her. And behind your mother and your grandmothers, begin to call forward your great-grandmothers. They too will take their place on either side of your mother, in whichever way they choose to appear. And you also make eye contact with them as you settle into their essence. Begin to connect with them. Connect with who they really are and who she really is. Move your awareness back towards your mother. And begin to call forward all the women on your maternal line. The aunties, the siblings of your grandmothers, the siblings of your great-grandmothers, your sisters, the brothers, and setting the intention to call forward anyone in your maternal line that needs to appear, that needs a healing, who needs to be with you here today. Who needs to be with you in the next few days to assist you and to guide you and to support you in doing this healing work. Allow them to come into the space and stand behind your mother, your grandmothers. And as they approach, you may see a few. You may see them all. They may come in the hundreds of thousands. And let them know telepathically that over the next few days, 7 perhaps, you're going to be doing some healing work with them. For you, for them, and your entire maternal line. Asking them for their support. You may get a yes from some of them. You may get a yes from just a few. And those that are in agreement have agreed to support and offer you guidance, information, and for healing. Welcome them into your space. And begin to notice there's an expansion within your own energy field so that you may hold this, a lightness. But it also may be a really fast energy, infinite. Ask these helpers to stay here with you for the next few days as you work on this journey and even outside of this space. And those that are ready to begin to step forward, to have this healing, begin to energetically surround you, creating a collective embrace. As you begin to notice the energetic fields begin to merge. And as these fields begin to merge, you begin to merge as one, become as one, as you've always been, in your blood and in your bones. And take a moment to breathe that in. Exhale, sigh. Inhaling that collective embrace. Breathing a little deeper, in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Give yourself permission to soften into all of it and receive all of it. As you begin to deepen your breath, begin to call yourself back into this space, into your body, as we head into mop-up. So please clear 100% of the items on the mop-up list, including all the stats. I'm going to ask that we begin to complete a brain restructuring, that all pre-programmed illnesses, Alzheimer's, dementia, accidents be clearing. That all of the high selves are in agreement, that we are cleared to the highest level of consciousness that our fields can hold in this very moment. I'm going to call forward any of your guidance teams that are outside of your family lines, those beings of light, those star people, any other ancestors that want to come in, that they join you in community as we embark on a journey of healing our mother lines. Begin to bring some movement back into the body. Maybe wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, lick your lips. Moving gently through the spine. And when you're ready, you can begin to sit up.